right, I think that's all I got to get started. Hello, everybody. Hello. Close that window right there. Open up the other window, guys. Thank you for being here. We have a very special guest. Paige in Kansas is here today. If you don't know who she is, she fundraises for Ukraine, among other things. We're going to be talking about little aid and some other stuff today. So thank you for being here. We are doing a fundraiser right now. You'll hear more about it, but first, let's get an introduction from Paige. Hello, Paige.
I can't find your live on YouTube, so I'll get there eventually so I can watch the chat and respond to you guys. Hi, I'm Paige. I'm for how many times I've done this, I always act kind of goofy when I have to explain or introduce myself. I am from Kansas. My connection, or why I care about Ukraine, is I served in the Peace Corps in Ukraine after college. So I lived there for a little over about 2.5 years. And I taught English as a foreign language in a village there. I did not know the language at all. I'm not Ukrainian by blood at all. Didn't learn the language while I was living there, mostly by we had some lessons like some training at the beginning of my service, but just by communicating with my students and making friends with locals, I learned the language. And so I became really close with people, stayed close with them over the years, and I went back in 2019 to visit. And then when the full scale kicked off in 2022, I was scared. So I started doing everything that I could to help. And since then, especially the first couple of years when there were a lot more opportunities to help. I did everything from, I would travel to DC and meet with members of Congress, organize local rallies and events with a local Ukrainian community. And as of the last total, I've raised somewhere around over $335,000 for humanitarian aid. So some in part thanks to Chungus over here helping, and that's primarily been on social media. So and some early on, I was getting a lot of calls from like TV channels to do interviews, but I'm sure, as you guys know, the media coverage dropped off quite a bit over time. So I haven't had that to rely on so much. So yeah, just been social media, and I haven't gotten too into YouTube. I have a channel, but I'm fortunate to have friends like Renegade here to have me on as a guest.
So you have opened a new channel or a new social media. Also, it was on Reddit, right?
Yeah, so I had a Reddit account. I'm a verified fundraiser for the Ukraine subreddit. Unfortunately, my account got banned. I was literally messing around formatting on a post, and it was like, "You're spam." And I read online that like I tried to get my account back, but it's really difficult too. So I finally started a new account on there. Pretty much all my social media, if you want to find me on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, those are all the ones I can think. Oh, and on here, my handle or name or whatever is at Paige in Kansas, PAIGEINKANSAS. My new Reddit is that, but then the number 4, and then UA as in Ukraine. I just said.
Sorry, I'm getting reports that the stream link is not showing. What the helly?
Yeah, I'm on your channel too, and I'm not seeing any. Like, I went to your channel and then.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. That might help.
There it is.
It popped up for you?
Yep.
Yeah, that was my bad.
All good. Yep, I can see it. I can see the chat.
It's been a long day. Look, guys, I don't know if you know this, but I lead multiple lives. All right, check in, guys. Can you got the link, everybody? We're good. All right. Let me see if it popped up on mine. Refresh. All right, a little bit of a hiccup, but we're in there.
All good.
All right.
Hey, that's flexibility is always important. So I'm good with it. I'm all good over here.
All right, there we go. All right, yeah. Anyways, where were we?
Just talking about me fundraising and so for the just as a related to fundraising, so for the first year and a half I did exclusively civilian aid. And then when I went to the front in 2023, back when you could physically go to the front, because it was before I mean the front like the zero. Before FEVs were everywhere. I saw seeing what the guys needed up there. Just one, there wasn't as much demand for civilian aid because a lot of people after a year and a half had started kind of resettling or had gone home or, or left the country altogether. So that demand wasn't as high. But then, yeah, I started, I saw what the guys were working with up at the front. And so I shifted my focus to that. And I also started working with, I knew of this small charity organization in Ukraine through mutual friends, but I ended up starting to work with them. And we ended up during like peak donations, we've helped, I don't know, dozens of different units and like brigades, but battalions, brigades, whatever. At the peak, we were like on a regular basis supporting about 12 to 15 of them. I would say like I was probably 15 on a regular basis. Of course, now with the lower numbers of donation amounts, it's harder to raise money. So we unfortunately can't take too many requests anymore. As well as civilian aid, we still do that, mostly just medicines for like pensioners and families of soldiers that have been injured or are dead, or sometimes, if one of the guys we support, they had a baby or something, we help out and just get them some diaper, just extra help there too. Yeah, so we have done everything from everything.
Yeah.
Generators, laptops, drones. To the drones thing is not really, that's really just like one of my private donors, but food, medications are the biggest thing. Always medicines for guys out front, medicines for guys recovering, surgeries,
water filters,
yeah, everything you can think of. Candy bars for snipers.
Yeah, that's another thing. So right now we were working on the 47th Brigade for vehicle repair. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah. So, and trucks. Yes. Thank you, Blonde Bombsheller, for pointing that out. I had personally fundraised and helped and purchased a couple of vehicles in the past, but again, that's really difficult for me to do now with all the other things that we have, all the other requests. But Blonde Bombsheller reached out through her through Renegade, and she just finished through Cars for Ukraine a fundraiser. So I'm so grateful for that. That is going to the 108th Brigade unit there that I have been supporting since I've started supporting the front, and I have become very close with a lot of those guys. We have been sometimes the only aid that they, well, pretty much for most of the time, the only aid that they receive, like donations and stuff. So we've helped keep them alive quite literally. So, but that's become a lot more a lot more challenging. So especially being able to provide them with an armor vehicle is just fantastic. So I'm so grateful for that. Thank you so much. The 47th, we have a group of snipers with the 47th who are just the best guys. Like they just have, I mean, all like Ukrainians just have a great sense of humor in general. But I first met these guys back in 2023 in Dnipro, and then 2024 we met up with them just outside of Avdiivka, and they signed some flags for me to bring back and stuff to. In fact, I think I still have one of the flags. I need to get on that to auction it or something like that. And then this last year, they had been in Avdiivka, fighting there until we were no longer in Avdiivka. In 2025, they were on rotation down in Odessa, working security in Odessa before heading up to Sumy, which is where the Sumy region, which is where they are now. So we got to go and see them spend an evening down there in Odessa, and then I got to go put my feet in the Black Sea, which was incredible. Because I wasn't sure I'd ever get, with the war, I didn't know if I'd ever have the opportunity to see it again, let alone like stand in it. It was kind of eerie though, because when we got there, we like walked up and there's like all this barbed wire and signs that are like danger, mines. And so I was like very careful, which has been the case in a lot of places, but I just hadn't been. It was strange because I'd been in those areas and seen that kind of stuff like toward the front, but like being at like a beautiful outdoorsy area and then having that, it was kind of surreal. So we spent just a couple hours with them. That was actually the day that Ukraine launched when they had the trucks in Russia of drones that they slid the tops off and then went and destroyed like billions of dollars of aircraft. That was happening while we were there. And at one point I looked at my phone and I was like, hey guys, like there's a lot of chatter about something going on right now, like, in Russia, and they went and like checked their military channels and they're like, oh fuck yeah. So it was just a really crazy. There was so much that happened that day. That was just like such a just really good, I guess, beautiful moments in all the in between all the ugly, but they're just really good guys, and we've helped them with everything from bug spray to this truck we're repairing this is like the fourth time I've helped repair this. I've seen it in person a couple times. Like in the shop we go, and usually they kind of just show me what they're working on, and like just to get my approval or whatever, which I appreciate. I mean most of the people I work with, I know I trust all of the people I work with, but they still like to do that just to make sure everything's clear and in the open. So yeah, so we need to repair this truck again for them.
So we got about $1,600 left on the fundraiser, guys. We're gonna do something a little special this stream as well. So we're gonna talk about this a little bit through the stream in case people are just tuning in. I know it's gonna take a minute for people to get here to pay attention to it, but we're gonna do a raffle stream today, guys. We're doing a little surprise raffle stream. Tickets are gonna be $10, and I'll explain why. We have quite the big donate or raffle prizes we're doing. One is this beautiful ornament right here, Ukrainian ornament made by a supporter of Paige from the UK. It's handmade to make a great decoration, or even come the holidays to hang off your Christmas tree. This is beautifully handmade. It's man, I want it on my tree. But we got to do what we got to do. So it's going to be $10 tickets today. Now it's this. You're also going to get a double pendant right now for you and a friend. So this is made by KKGG's, handmade, sent to me to raffle off as well, and also all together in one. This is for for the $10 tickets. Paige has a very special prize as well.
So this is a black and red flag, like the Ukrainian flag, but the black and red colors. It's made by a company called Kirasa. It's in Dnipro. They were I can't remember what they made before, but once the full scale started, they started making tactical like uniforms and tactical gear, I guess, for soldiers. And so we also purchase stuff like backup uniforms and things like that, plate carriers and stuff like that through them. But they also make flags. They're really, really nice quality. This one's not open, but I have a couple of them, and they're like full. I mean, I think I would say full size flags. They're really big, and if quite a few of my pictures that I actually, if you go, yeah, you can see I've held the yellow and blue ones in a lot of pictures, so they're just beautiful. But anyway, so and I purchased this one myself last time I was over there from them in Dnipro. So and I also I've met with them several times, and they're also just, not that it makes a difference, but they're also just good people too. So yeah, so that's.
All right, so that's a pretty big raffle
Got a little
prize
card in
today,
the back,
guys.
so their company there.
So this is how we're gonna do this, guys. Every $10 donated today, the fundraiser link is pinned. It has to be through GiveButter. Please don't send on PayPal so we can track it, so I can refresh on the screen. What we're gonna do is we are going to do a raffle. Whoever donates every $10 on donation, I will put their name on a big graph like this. We're gonna do a graph, and then at the end of the stream, when the tickets are done, I will spin a wheel for a random number, and then you got to get a hold of me either through Discord or through the channel email, which is pinned in the description of this stream. So those are two options. We got 1,600 left to go on the fundraiser. We're looking to make a big impact tonight, so we've got a lot of big prizes. That's kind of a lot. You're getting a beautiful ornament. You're getting a really cool good luck pendant for you and a friend, and a really cool flag. So that's the goal tonight, guys. $10 will get you a ticket. It'll get you on the wheel, and we'll spin at the end randomly. Paige, what have you been doing in your free time?
Oh, I suppose you're asking about my stand-up.
Your stand-up. You. This is funny. You actually, I don't even think I had you added at the time. You randomly came up on my TikTok, and I'm like, the fuck? That's Paige. How's that going?
Good. So that's just basically, I was at this like local dive a few months ago and heard that they did a comedy night. And it's a lot closer to my house than a lot of the places in the city. And that's always been on my bucket list. My grandpa did it after he came back from World War II. He used to perform and he did stand up. My uncle did it. His son did it in Chicago and got pretty into it. And then my other uncle did as well. So it's in my blood, I guess. Wanted to try it, and I've been trying it, and I've loved it. And it's definitely tough sometimes, but I think the hardest part is for most people is like the public speaking part, being on stage and speaking to people. That part I'm not going to say I never get nervous. Like I may get a little excitement. If I didn't, it probably wouldn't really be fun. But that part is not as much of a challenge for me. So it's more of just like the writing part of it, which is interesting. But I've done 12 sets now, and 2 of them have been as Oksana, my Russian character.
Volkovich.
Yeah, Oksana Vodkovich. Yeah.
How did that take? Were they?
Oh my god, I love it. It's because when she performs, like she's there. I don't go. It's Oksana's there all night. So that's just how Oksana works. You can't turn her off and on easily. So.
Yeah, Oksana showed up to a couple holidays as well, right?
Yeah, she went to I didn't want to go to I shouldn't say it like that. She went to one of my family's Thanksgivings. I was struggling a little bit with my mood, I guess. So she's gone to that. She's gone to like some going away party. She actually went to a friend's going away party recently and jumped out of she made a cake and out of cardboard and jumped out of that. So yeah, she's a crazy bitch.
23 female Russia. I love Carlotta, go to disco and pickle. First husband die in the war. Need new husband to make baby. Glory.
Is that a
to
Twitter bio?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
she
bringing
lives
up.
here.
I'm gonna bring up a little bit of your right here. We're gonna bring it up a little bit. Hold on. I want to air this.
Great.
Happy Women's Day, International Women's Day. Yes, happy International Women's Day to every woman except for that bitch Irina from my village. She can f off, okay? So everyone else, happy day, okay? Thanks.
One hell of a way to start an intro there. Oksana's having a good time.
Thank you, Something Wong. I said I just donated it on broadcast port. Let's go. I love you. Yeah, Sana is. I had my high school 20-year high school reunion this last summer, and I showed up, and before I even got into the door, two people that I hadn't talked to, I think, since high school were like, "Where's the Russian whore?" I had posted, I had made a post on like Instagram and Facebook that was like, it was a picture of Oksana, and I was like, my mom told me not to go to my 20-year reunion as Oksana, so now I want to go to my 20-year reunion as Oksana. So that's why I didn't, but that's why people were asking.
I see you were feeding grown men pickles up on stage as well.
Yeah, I did that with my mouth.
That's commitment.
That was funny.
Well, that's cool.
Fun.
Man, I couldn't do. Maybe I could do stand up. I get so nervous. I just can't. Something Wong made a donation. Something Wong, are we going into the raffle tickets? Let me bring it up here. Raffle, and we went through Give Butter. That's one ticket in. I see one ticket in. I see Alan with a ticket, and I see Something Wong with a ticket.
Woo!
All right,
Thank you, guys.
Let me put it into a wheel. All right. Or where's my graph? Where's my graph?
I'm gonna grab a cup really quick because I don't want to drink this on screen.
Okay. We got Something Wrong with the ticket. And we have Alan. 2 tickets bought today. Like I said again, I'm gonna bring it up. We got a few more viewers coming in and out. Guys, we've got a raffle stream going. Raffle stream, a wonderful, wonderful handmade ornament. Be great for anything, decoration on your wall or a Christmas tree. And then we have, this is fan made. This is beautiful. And then we also have a double piece pennant and then the red and black flag from Paige. That's going to be a $10 tickets today on the fundraiser. And all you got to do is just after the stream, if you win, you can email me your address through the email that's in the description, or join the Discord, which is also in the description of the channel, or just catch me on one of my social medias and DM me. It's pretty easy to get a hold of me. I'm kind of everywhere. So Paige, the 47th. Let's hear a little report what's going on in the Frontline, also from some of your other groups. What exactly is the feel? What's the vibes you're getting?
Sorry.
And while you talk, you've already covered 3. I'm just gonna grab a cup of tea real quick.
Yeah, you're good. So I have a group with the 47th, 46th, the numbers after so longer. 46, 43rd, 46, 43rd. One of those two. I'm just blanking out on the number. But they are up in the Kupiansk direction. I'm sure some of you remember a couple of months ago, we were helping the 14th, who had some guys trapped up there. Essentially, they are in the trenches. They're like, foxholes, or they're bigger. They're kind of like underground apartments for some of them, depending on how long they've been there. They because of the just sheer quantity of FPV strikes and artillery strikes, they're stuck there. I mean, they live there. They can't send anybody in. They can't. So all of their supplies are delivered by drone. And they've what we're especially working on for them right now is medicines, but also they don't have access to fresh water, and that's heavy and difficult to get to them. In some cases, they've had to drink out of puddles. Which is really, really effed up for any human to have to do that. But so we have. I've been working with another group to possibly get some smaller, more like individual size ones for now. And then we also have some water filtration systems that Natasha is able to purchase within Ukraine that are larger, that they can basically, if you have like a bucket and you kind of just put it over and you pump it that way. And I just can't, I know this is going to be really, this is dark, but it's war. I can't stop thinking about the fact that they're drinking water from the ground that's been covered in chemicals and blood.
Yeah, you're talking fuels, oils, blood, body,
all the chemical weapons that Russia uses on them.
Yeah,
all that. And but they don't have any other, they don't have an option. And I don't necessarily think that, like, these filters probably can't get all that out, but it's certainly an improvement instead of just drinking that. So there's that. I have another one of my groups that I'm personally close with as well. I found out as recently they're up in that area now too, and they had been toward the south. They've been in the south for years, and this one group is up in the Kupiansk area, which is scary. I mean, it's all scary, but also at the same time, now that I have a second group of guys that are stuck, stranded in a sense, that's pretty nerve-wracking, I guess. So those are I haven't been watching the frontline, like a lot of the frontline news and stuff. I usually don't, actually, because one, a lot of it, especially on social media, is just speculation, but also it just kind of stresses me out too, especially now that a lot of the front lines have moved closer to civilians and that I know, civilians in general, but people that I know and love. So it doesn't do me any good to try to like watch that stuff on a regular basis, especially now that especially now that doesn't necessarily, just because one part of the front is this close to them and the other part is this close to them, with the drones and the technology, they're able to strike a lot farther away now anyway. So but I would say that region, the Kupiansk region, is what I've heard the most about lately.
Right. Well, and then we already had the 14th that was there, that we had experience with that. Also, them getting pinned down from the drones and soldiers in the area. And yeah, that turned out, that was a scary moment as well.
Yeah.
Shoot, they were trapped. They couldn't get out, and they had to get supplies droned in, and then God, they were able to push back the Russians, secure Kupiansk, and Zelensky came out, and I saw
That's crazy.
The 14th.
It was like right after we did our stream too.
Yeah, it was. It's like 3 days. Like I'm at a church in Sacramento, and I'm like, hey, I need prayers. I'm with this Russian diaspora. She's like, let's go talk to the Ukrainian pastor. He's a frontline pastor from the trenches. We're all sitting there, me, this Russian, and this Ukrainian guy praying for the soldiers. It was the craziest thing. And then within 3 days. Within 3 days after that, they pushed them all back, and Zelensky was there.
Yeah, and they didn't, for what it's worth, like they still needed our help. They weren't necessarily like we obviously like didn't push them back and then just give up the position. So it was still really important what we did do for them. It was just basically like the threat, the likelihood that they were going to survive significantly increased after that point. So that was definitely a really big relief. Especially when I'm communicating with their commander and he feels helpless, and we're just it's like I'm trying to do everything I can, and like he's doing everything he can. We're doing, and fortunately in this case it was a happy ending, for lack of a better term, I guess. But as happy as it can be in that situation, I guess.
Yeah, the men didn't even rotate out of there. That's crazy. They stayed and kept fighting. But I guess after you have the president come there,
Yeah.
I'm sure they want to get home. I'm sure they wouldn't have said no, but command's going to feel some sort of way about that too. I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Now
And
we
they
have it's the 43rd headed there now.
That's what I was. I didn't want to, just because you weren't right there. I got 46th in my head and 40, because I was saying the 43rd. Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought today I would forget some of the numbers and brigades that I've helped now, and it's I couldn't tell you. I can't tell you the first armored vehicle what group that was for anymore. My brain just I've got them somewhere up here.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a list, and but a lot of the, I mean, especially recently, like for example, the 108th reorganized and renumbered their battalions. So, these groups that I've been helping for years now, the 103rd, the 203rd, and all that, like there are different numbers now. And then some of the guys have switched to different. So like when Natasha and I are talking about them, we still kind of refer to them. One, with some of them, we kind of refer to them by the commanders that we know personally, if that's the case. Or the guy, like the guys and like this, Sasha's group or whatever. Or we just refer to them as the number that we know them as, because it's too hard to keep track of all the changing numbers and everything. I mean, they all generally they're doing the same thing, same thing. They're just called something different.
Yeah, like Rowan, he started off in the 151st, and then like a few weeks later he got rotated somewhere else. A month later somewhere else. A month later somewhere else. It was like I couldn't even keep track anymore. I remember I grabbed the names for the 501 and that was it. Or the brigade numbers, but yeah, they rotate them in and out so much. I don't even think the 151st is around anymore. They were in Pokrov's direction. I think they reformed into a different one. That happens so much, it seems like.
Yeah, I helped the 151st. I just had that list up.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there was
myself
many,
and Donor.
There was many in and out that shoot, I can't keep track of them all.
Yeah.
Let's check out what do we got here. We got Steve Sane throwing in a 10 for 1 ticket, and we got Blonde Bombsheller throwing in 20 for 2 tickets. So far, the total 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 in, guys. We got $50. $50
awesome.
in
Thank
on the
you.
Razor.
Sorry, when I'm looking down, I'm paying attention. I'm just responding to a couple messages of people that are joining or checking in. So
let me shout out some of the fan funding also for the channel. Steve saying 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Steve. Blonde Bombsheller. Okay, 10 months, $10. I want that flag. Member for 10 months. I'm back, BB. 10 months with another 10. So we're going. They want that flag.
Oh, I missed the troll.
Oh yeah, they don't stay around long when they say dumb shit.
That's another thing that's helpful with the stand-up stuff is that I'm so used to being called names and like bullied on social media. It's primarily on Twitter that it's not too hard to deal with that.
So I did a stream the other day. I was streaming Pete Hegseth at the hearing, or it was an update at the security meeting, and I had like 9,000 almost 9,000 viewers on, and the trolls were insane. I actually put up a poll just to make determination of how many trolls were in the chat. I put up a poll. Have you hit the like and subscribe? Yes, no, this channel sucks. And this channel sucks had 38% and took the win.
But it's so funny because just like on Twitter and it's like, when I post something and then I would just be like swarmed by Botniks and Russians and stuff. And it's like, you're just helping my visibility. Now this post has been seen 50,000 times because of your dumbasses. Thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing how much they come out. And now, especially with NAFO being branded an elite hacker organization by the Russian embassy, Now, how does it feel to be a part of an elite hacker organization?
Oh my God. I don't know. I'm on plenty of lists, I'm sure. So
Yes. Oh, including the murder horror core list.
yes. This whole thing.
Yeah, that thing.
Warhorde Division. I have one that says Warhorde. This one says Warhorde Division, and then my other one says Make Love and War. That one's my favorite, I think.
Well, I'm just looking at the chat real quick. Let me refresh the page. Got anybody else donating today, guys? Still waiting for more. So at these little comedy skits you're doing, you got a bunch of hecklers out there?
No. I did just I did just post. I don't think I posted this on Twitter, but yeah, but I did have somebody that was standing. So when I started doing it, everybody, all the comics were like, record yourself so you can go back and watch and know like what hit and what didn't. But then you can also, share if you want on social media. Well, some guy was standing next to my phone while I was recording at this comedy club a week ago, actually, and I won't. Basically, I made it wasn't a planned thing, but I made a reference to unaliving myself, and then this guy in the back was like, "We wish you would."
Oh,
damn! Like, next to my phone, and I didn't hear it during the set, but like I was watching the video later, and I was like, "Oh,
oh what a prick!"
But that's what it's like to perform in front of other comics.
That's how it is doing a live stream on the internet. My God, dude, it gets people suck. But yeah, you are opening yourself up to the public when you go and do some of that stuff. How long does it take you to write like a whole skit before you go up?
Oh, I've spent a couple of days, off and on, like a day or two off and on, and then a couple of them I've written 20 minutes before, and some of the jokes that I come up with like right before are the funniest. Like they get the best reaction. So it just depends on the group that's there. It depends on, your delivery, obviously, but depends on the group that's there. The subject matter. Like I went to Lawrence, Kansas last Saturday, which is where University of Kansas is, and there was a really young crowd, and some of the other comics that are a little bit older, I think, struggled with that because maybe their material wasn't quite as relatable. I went like my stuff is really dark, but it went okay because it was, I don't know, immature, crude, but it worked. So I was playing to the crowd, and it's like.
I remember there was one joke I saw that came up on my feed that was I thought was hilarious. You were talking about the death penalty coming back for sex offenders in certain states. And God, I can't remember it now. Oh my God.
It was that Alabama had just. Oh, by the way, Steve said refresh again to you.
Refreshing.
I don't know what that means. Yeah, it was Alabama recently signed a law making it legal to execute pedophiles. And they said they were joining other states like Florida, Louisiana, Montana, and somewhere else. And I said, which is kind of interesting, or which is funny, because if I were to guess which states had the highest number of pedophiles per capita, those would definitely be on my list. Which was actually unintentional until I added a face pop up on the video, but I actually wasn't I wasn't referencing a specific person when I was talking about executing pedophiles in Florida. That just happened to be the case. Somebody pointed that out to me after, and I was like, oh shit, yeah. That one's really good.
I was like, yeah, I see what you did there. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, that was you that pointed it out. Yeah. Yeah, and I was like, oh shit, yeah. I can't take credit for that. I can, I guess, but
how was the reaction of the crowd when you said that?
Oh, they laughed.
Okay,
they were laughing.
I was gonna say, if it was mixed reaction, then somewhere on the list.
Yeah, no, and then after that, I went into several minutes talking about guillotines, so it was pretty.
And then Oksana came, right?
No, that night was she's completely separate. She's exhausting. It's exhausting to be her.
I bet
A nasty weapon.
it probably takes a lot of freaking effort.
On one of the sets.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
I was just gonna say on one of the sets is her. This guy was like in the front was like, I freaking love you. I love Russia. And I was like, whoa, no, this is not this is not the point. But I think he was just being a creepy dude. Honestly, it wasn't really about the country.
Oh my god, that would have been great if you had a skit ready to roast him just for saying that. Like, you love Russia. Have you ever been there? Would you like to see where potato goes in men from foreign country?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did. She did talk about stuff like that. So. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna pull it up again right here. I got a picture. I believe this is the picture of the video. I'm gonna pull it up, or of the vehicle we're trying to repair, guys. So, guys, little recap. We are trying to repair a vehicle for the 47th Snipers. So I'm gonna pull it up right here. Here's the vehicle that is in need of repair. I'm gonna pull it over to the side, see how that looks. How does this look? Let me bring up the screen. Yes. Okay, so this vehicle right there is the one we're trying to get repaired for the 47th, guys. And on top of that, we're gonna do a raffle stream right now, guys. Here is a beautiful handmade ornament for your Christmas tree or wall from a supporter of Paige's from the UK. It's made in the Ukrainian colors of the flag. It's very, very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Also, you get a double pendant made by K&K GGs from the community. One pendant for a very good friend and another one for you for good luck. And also, we have a red and black Ukrainian flag that Paige is going to throw in for the raffle.
Made in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Made in Dnipro.
Brought over by yours truly. Just been hanging on to this bad boy for a special occasion.
So this is a special occasion. $10 will get you in for a ticket. All you got to do is make a donation. If you would like to put it in the comments for the tickets or whatever, make the donation. The link is pinned in the description of the chat. Every $10 will get you a ticket. And I'm refreshing, and Steve Sain says he is not going to let Blonde Bombsheller have that ticket. He put in another $10 another $10 ticket. We are in a ticket war, guys.
I love it.
Ticket war is here. Blonde Bombsheller with support of the channel, 5 gifted memberships as well. Thank you, BB. Thank you very much. Oh, going to one of my friends from the Sunflower Society as well. Happy to see that.
What's the Sunflower Society?
So every 24th since the beginning of the war in Sacramento, California, at the state capitol building, a group of people from around the world, Ukrainian, Russian diaspora, Belarusian, Kazakhstanian people, Armenian. I've seen Iranians there. Where else? Everybody from around the world participate in a rally, a Ukrainian rally on the 24th of every month. So starting from, I think, a month after the full-scale invasion. And with bigger events obviously happening on February 24th. And then also on Ukrainian Independence Day on August 24th to bring light. And I've so many people. Some events are smaller. Some events are bigger, but they get together at the state capitol, building, and show support. It's a rally, show support, share stories. I've met just the most amazing people there, from the Sunflower Society, including Dima. He was an Azovstal. He was Lazar, and they're like the third top as far as special forces go, as far as productivity. He was traded back out of Russian captivity. In Mariupol. He spent 6 months in captivity. During the siege of Mariupol, he was there, and his family escaped. They end up trading him back. Spetsnaz was hunting his kid and his wife down. They came here to get better medical care. Basically, he got traded back. They came to America for a better life. and he came here to the Sunflower Society, the group of individuals, Svetlana, Olga, all the heads of the Sunflower Society, Anya, and they bring awareness because Sacramento has a huge community of Ukrainians here, huge.
That's awesome.
It might be the
It's
largest.
awesome that you have that event. That
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And it might be. I think Sacramento might be over Miami. It might be the largest in the United States right now as far as Ukrainian population.
Wow.
So it was.
Yeah, we're unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but I don't mean like. I'm not saying we don't have as large of a community here, so we do now. But you know, a lot of times it's harder for me to try to continue to get refugees to do like a lot of them they've gone through some horrible stuff and they're here and they're trying to restart their lives and you know and not constantly think about the war. So but our like the Ukrainian community that we had diaspora here before the war just wasn't quite as large. Now they've gotten a lot closer because a lot of them didn't, Kansas City is really spread out. So a lot of them didn't even realize like, oh my God, there's a lot more, here or there, whatever. So it is a little bit harder to get larger groups together. Now, I am on the board of a nonprofit called Stand with Ukraine KC. And we we do an annual picnic for the local community, and that usually gets at least 100, like a couple hundred people. And so, and we talk, like we mentioned, like there's talk about, the war and everything. Of course it's acknowledged. And I bring over, I set up like a little table with some of the things that some Ukrainian art and things. And then, some, like painted shells, like war related, this kind of stuff. That, it's not, it's dark. It's a reminder of it, but not, super difficult, to see, but, and of course we, acknowledge it and everything, but it is the goal of it being, is more of like the support and community, creating that community and everything. And we've had quite a few, new, Ukrainians new to the area that have been able to kind of get to know people, around the area as well through those events. So, but it is a little bit harder to get, especially getting non-Ukrainians, like people that are not, involved. Whereas like earlier on, a lot of them would show up to rallies and stuff. But
so I've actually seen those bullets at the Sunflower Society rallies at their display table as well. They've got a few of those as well. And yeah, I get it. Like the ones that come here, they explain it to me. They're fresh off the boat. They're trying to get their lives started. They just escaped war. It's hard to get a lot of them out, but a few do come. And they're going to represent the rest of the population when they come there. But shoot, there's people from Melitopol, Mariupol, Svetlana herself. She's from the Donbass region, Luhansk, I believe. Luhansk.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of people. I believe she came before, but her cousins had to flee. Everybody's been affected there. Huge anti-Putin Russian population there as well. They had no love given. They have their. I
have met one Russian in this area. One woman has approached me through all the, and I met at all the events that I've hosted, that I've attended. Like as far as that group and that, activism and all that stuff in this area, I would say I'm known to the community, in that sense. One woman ever.
Wow. Yeah. No. Over here, it's pretty big.
And they're here. They're here.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's bad ones too. We've seen the trolls in the chats over there on some of their pages, but there's also good ones. They have their own drones for Ukraine. It's called Freedom Birds. They supply drones. There's been Ukrainian soldiers that have come to these rallies and said the tourniquets that they have supplied have saved our lives. And gave one of their heads a hug there, and it's a whole thing. And they take a big chance too, because one of the heads there called her mom, who still lives in Russia, and FSB agent actually answered the phone. So
I remember you telling me that.
yeah. It doesn't go without consequences either. And they also have their own little group. I believe it's like a free Navalny event that they do every month as well.
Thank you, Steve.
But I haven't been to any of those events because obviously the first and foremost is Ukraine support. But yeah, it's quite an interesting motley crew of people there. Met some of the nicest people in the world. I've heard terrible stories. The last time I was there, they had a tent that had all the a bunch of bombed children. It was pictures of the children that had been killed by Russian aggression, and you walk inside of this like a canopy, and it's just all souls, all children that were killed by Russia, and it's very somber. There was grown men that were there, linguistic operators from the Cold War, that were coming out just crying, broken, absolutely broken. I broke down at the end of the stream after walking through there. I went to the Capitol steps. It's raining, and I turned the camera. I couldn't talk on stream anymore.
Yeah.
It was too much to take. Lot of emotion there. God, it brings it home. And then hearing my friend who's been advocating forever to get more Ukrainians to come to the rallies, more support, tourniquets and medical supplies. You could hear it. She was feeling the pressure. She started getting pissed. She was screaming, and then one of the Ukrainian guys started crying and screaming for his country. Someone had to go give him a hug. It's just, fuck, the amount of pain and suffering.
Yeah.
I could feel it. My chat could feel it that day. I live streamed the whole event. It was really hard. Really, you could see even the CHP guards that were there to guard the state capitol building were feeling it too.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool event, really emotional. I'm hearing, I think Steve just said there's a gathering in Australia as well. Of course, they have the free Azov rallies as well.
Mhm.
That's a lot of these are the free Azov style rallies, which, my friend Dima, he still has friends that are in prison over there. They're still locked up. The Russians still have them. He was fortunate enough.
When you mentioned that earlier, I had commented on something recently with regard to that being captured, and I was just I was saying that, I mean, to me, being captured by Russian troops is a far worse fate than being killed by them. And we only know, we've heard stories, but and seeing the results of it, but only a fraction of it. I even the example I use, the first time I was over there and was standing just outside of Chasiv Yar, looking toward Bakhmut, and I could see the buildings, some of those big apartment buildings that you'd see in like a lot of the videos. I could see the ruins of those. It was like 3 or 4 miles away. It was a clear day, and it was down this road. And it was about 2 weeks after Russia had taken Bakhmut again, and there were still Wagner troops there and everything. And I mean, in this area that we're looking at, and even before that, that thought came to, I knew this already, but the thought came to mind again that I was like, there's no way, like I would do whatever it took to not have to deal with that, because because my, that putting your family through that too, because, they mess around and they try to, I don't know. I just wouldn't, it's horrific. Those things that they do, the things they do to their own people. So, we can imagine just how depraved they are when it comes to Ukrainians or Americans.
Yeah, I was watching some of the videos of what they were doing to their own people, electrocuting them for torture, starving them to death naked in a pit with 2 men inside of the pit, and dropping crumbs of like bird feed inside. And they're like grabbing this bird feed and like, oh my God, food. It was terrible. They're literally starving their own men to death.
Crying upstairs. Hold on 1 second.
Okay. We're going to take an update real quick on the current fundraiser and how it is going. Oh, it looks like Steve Sane is striking back on the tickets. Back on the tickets. Steve with two more tickets. Let me bring it up real quick. the comment left was supporting Ukraine from Chungus support. I give me gift to BB. Wow. Okay, Steve. Jeez Louise. Oh, it looks like he looks like he's promised you, unless I read that wrong. Unless I unless I read that, you got some extra tickets headed your way. We'll have to check it out, guys. So if you're just tuning in, I'm gonna keep updating it on the raffle today. This is going to the 47 snipers for vehicle report. We've got $1,600 in repair to go on the vehicle repair. We have a very cool pendant right here, handmade from a supporter out of the UK. You can hang it on your tree for Christmas, or you can hang it on your wall. Like, I got a whole corner of my wall decorated here with support that I've given and people that have sent me gifts. Got cool little gifts from Rowan as well. You're going to get a little pendant as well from K&K GG's. And you're also going to get a flag, a red and black Ukrainian flag from Dnipro. $10 will get you a ticket. The link is pinned in the description of the chat. This is a 501c3. So if you're in the United States, it is tax deductible at the end of the year. $10 gets you a ticket. You join the raffle. At the end of the stream, we are going to spin a random wheel and see who wins the prize. I've got it all over here on an Excel sheet of everybody who's made a donation. And then we'll spin on this here number picker wheel and see exactly where this goes from there. Some things coming out of Ukraine. Some things come. Well, this is actually. Yeah, we already heard about the call. President Trump spoke with Russia's Vladimir Putin in a roughly 1.5 hour long phone call recently to talk about a ceasefire. And of course, they're talking about Iran and the ongoing situation there. Now, part of the conversation that was brought up was about Russia being part of the refinery process in Iran. And if you wonder why, it's because Tuapse and the Russian oil refineries are absolutely cooked. Ukrainians have been hitting them, targeting them with drones to slow their war funding, which is absolutely necessary. Getting other reports that Putin is scared, his fortress is cracking in half, and his decrees are now secret, so Russians can see how badly his decrees are now secret, so Russians can't see how badly the regime is falling. There's a whole report from that. From Mikhail Khodorkovsky. I can share that later on another stream. Also getting wonderful reports from Votnik Soup. NAFO is now a designated hacker organization by Russia, which means any member of NAFO that goes to Russia will most likely be arrested and thrown into a prison for the rest of their lives. I would expect that from Russian-friendly countries, so don't go to North Korea or Belarus. Let's see what else we got as far as reportings are coming out of Ukraine. Oh, another big one. Amy McKinnon has resigned as U.S. ambassador. She left because of lack of support from Donald Trump. She replaced her predecessor who left for the same reason, Bridget Brink. So they're both out. They're not getting the support they need. Bridget Brink said, I resigned as U.S. ambassador to Ukraine when Trump kept siding with Putin over our democratic partner. Now my successor is doing the same. I knew I had to speak out and run for office because siding with dictators, just not who we are. It's just not who we are. So a lot of news coming out of Ukraine. Also a report, I don't know if you guys know, Magyar Zagazaga, a Ukraine chief drone operator, says now they're killing over 30,000 Russian troops every month with drones. So their manpower is fading. However, Russia's huge. The size of the country is huge. This war is not over. By no means. And like Paige was saying, the troops need help. Her men are moving into the front. There are people drinking out of mud puddles. Water filters needed. Vehicle repair needed. We have to keep supporting. Paige, you got anything to add to that?
Sorry for that brief interruption there. There's different cries, I'm sure, as you know, from kids, and my sons are with a responsible adult, but that cry made me my mom thing went off. So just had to go mitigate that situation. Yeah, I would just say that you know, when I was mentioning one of the groups that I have supported for quite a while and know quite a few of them personally and very well, they're going to a different area on of the front now, which is most of them have been fighting since like early 2022. So they're definitely not the, rejuvenated, newly trained or rejuvenated or whatever troops that the kind of backup that is probably needed up there. So they're still, they don't have a choice. It's their families are just behind them. So they're going to fight till to the death if they need to. As much as I hate that, but that's their choice. And again, it's not really their choice. I mean, it's like protecting their families and everything. So, they're a lot of them when it comes to like medical, like medicines and stuff like that. When I say medicines, I don't just mean stuff like for some of the medications are for like long-term treatment of injuries and things like that, or they've had injuries that haven't been treated correctly or yet, and so we need to ensure that it's not just, I don't know, these guys have just been through fucking so much, and now they're when they have to go to a different place, that's I don't know, maybe it's exciting for them because it's something different. They do get bored sometimes.
I'd imagine like you got to get bored at some point.
Yeah.
God, the unknown and the anxiety and the fear that's got to be crazy too. I got to give a shout out to, thank you. We got rated. The Time Travelers have came from Nick Suter at In Time. Thank you, Nick. Welcome, Time Travelers. Guys, if you haven't already subscribed to Nick's channel, I'm going to put the link here in the chat. Thank you for the raid, Nick. We got to catch him up. So, guys, here's what we're doing today. I've got Paige in Kansas on. We're talking about frontline aid support. We have a fundraiser going right now for the 47th Snipers. These men need vehicle repair desperately, and then there's other needs too. Other groups need stuff as well. So we're trying to knock this one out pretty quickly. Here's a couple of pictures I'm just going to share of the 47th. They're in need of vehicle repairs. They've got a knocking engine. They need to get new fuel injectors, other things as well. We're going to try to get them some extra tires. What we are doing today to try to promote this, we are at 1,600 at the beginning of the stream. I haven't done the tally count yet, but we're doing a raffle stream. There are prizes, okay? There are prizes tonight. This is how we're going to do this. I have the link for the fundraiser pinned in the chat. You make a donation. Every $10 gets you a ticket towards some prizes. You contact me either on social media, on my Discord channel, which is in the description, or the email that's in the description of this stream. And you get a chance to win tonight. At the end of the stream, we're going to do a raffle. A wonderful handmade pendant made by one of Paige's supporters from the UK. This thing would be great on a wall. This thing would be great on a Christmas tree. Also, from a supporter from the channel, from K&K, GG's, you get a dual lucky pendant. One for you, one for your friend. And also, on top of that, this is all for the same prize, you get a red and black Ukrainian flag from Dnipro. So Paige is going to send that off along with these to whoever the lucky winner is tonight. So we're doing $10 tickets. I know that's double what I usually do on the raffle streams, but this is triple the prizes tonight, guys. You're going to get one from Paige that she personally bought there from Dnipro, and two from supporters of the channel that I'm going to mail out as well. So,
LJ Boone said they sent $30. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're putting her on the tickets. Okay, let me.
Agreed, Claire.
All right, I'm going to do a little crunching while this happens.
Mitch cracked me up. Mitch asked John, party at Chungus' place starring Paige. Let's do it.
LJ, we got 3 tickets from LJ, $30. But LJ, let me see here if I got this right. On the one before was Steve with 2.
Ken, I done did a donation. Thanks, Ken.
I done did. Okay, Steve, and then we had LJ with 3. Hi, LJ. Good to see you. LJ.
Let's see. I've got. Oh, let's see. Knocking everything down. 1 second.
And then we got 1 from Ken Vet going on the spreadsheet.
Pulling some of my slides down to show you guys.
That's a total of 14 tickets bought so far, so that is $140 so far on the fundraiser. Fundraiser totals at $1,600. We're trying for the vehicle repairs, so we make sure that they have a little extra after they fix their vehicle. I got a picture of the vehicle too I can share. They've been repairing this thing. It's been a struggle. The struggle bus. This thing's been through a lot, but they keep it alive.
She's very reliable.
Right now, they're going to need the fuel injectors. I know for sure are going to need to be switched out. There's a knocking in the engine they're going to have to address, and some other things. But this thing is critical for their safety and for them staying alive. And they were talking the 47 snipers. Let me bring a picture up here. Here's the 47th. More from the 47th here as well. All right, so the sooner we get this knocked out, we're gonna do water filters after that. Or we gotta do water filters for the 43rd for sure too. So that's the vehicle. Those are the men we're trying to help. Paige, you got anything to add to that?
I just love the memories of that. So that was when we were just outside of Avdiivka in 2024. Just like pulled over on the side of a road in this town and gave them a bunch of tools and like just all sorts of random. We purposely one issue with logistics and with a bunch of people with a lot of the supplies at the front being donated is that they are not distributed well, unfortunately. For example, I've had, a unit that has an entire pallet of something they don't really need that many of, but they don't have this other thing that this other group has a lot of. So the way Natasha and I, we deliver supplies based on actual requests. I bring over, suitcases full. I usually do an Amazon, registry before I go, and so I bring over a bunch of suitcases of chest seals and tourniquets and all the other TAC med stuff, and we purposely okay, how many of these do you know? If we have extra, well, there's never like an extra because there's always somebody else that needs it, but so sometimes we'll bring some groups more of this or more of that, or just depending on what they actually need the most, and we found that's and I understand not everybody has the ability to do that, because if you're not communicating directly with the people, in a lot of cases, you don't know what they need. But anyway, that was just a side note there. So we met up with them there just outside of Avdiivka, and it was, during pretty intense fighting. So there was just shit exploding nearby, and there's smoke and stuff like that. But it was still a beautiful day, and we were happy to see him. And that was also one of my favorite moments over there was with the three of them. Natasha was talking to one of their commanders or something, another volunteer, and I was standing on the side of that road talking to those 3 guys, and a Bradley was being brought in and was past us on the road, and I'm not good at recognizing, I don't recognize most equipment, but I do know what a Bradley looks like. So at the same time, I looked at them and they all looked at me, and we were like, that's a Bradley. Them in Ukrainian and me in English. I can speak Ukrainian, but I was excited, so I said it in English. And then as this Bradley's going by, these guys are in, this was they were in Avdiivka. so that's part of like the beauty of it is like I don't know, it's just a real silly human moment, but like they're like we're all like, yeah, it's going by, like just excited and stuff. So it's just like a silly little moment there, but it was like such a basic, I don't know, like, so I just love them, and they're just they still, even when I saw them this last year, have relatively good morale. The tallest one in that picture cracked me up because he was sneaky. He every once in a while, I not often, but every once in a while I run into somebody in Ukraine that it is like fluent in English, and they're sometimes nervous to speak it like right away, but then like they'll start speaking. I'm like, man, I've been struggling over here with this, like these last couple of sentences or something like that, and so it's helpful because then once I do know that. So anyway, yeah, he's like completely fluent in English. He can almost speak it without a heavy. He can speak it without a heavy accent. So, but he'll still speak Ukrainian to me, which is fine because it's good practice for me.
Bradley, that's got to be such a morale boost too. Seeing a Bradley in your area,
yeah.
like my god,
that was like right. So that when I was there, like the last day I was there was when Biden had signed something to like send over a bunch more equipment. I think some of it was probably already staged because I started seeing quite a bit more moving in around that time, like on my way out. But it was just cool. That's the only time I've seen some other American stuff. I've seen some towable artillery from the US, lots of like round, like 50 cal rounds, that say like US DOD on them and stuff. And some fire like guns, like rifles and stuff. But yeah, that was a really funny moment with the three of them. So
checking in on the fundraiser real quick while we're talking, guys. Looks like holy cow, we got donations coming in. All right, you guys are getting added. Let's see what we got here. We got Mitch Ashdown 25. Mitch is getting added to 2 tickets. $10 a piece for the tickets, guys. This is going for some really awesome prizes tonight. Let me get 2 tickets here for Mitch. Hey, Claire. Claire from Car for Ukraine is here tonight as well.
Yes, thank you, Claire.
Hey,
Blonde Bombshell just finished our collection, so we're getting a car. I'm so excited. They need it, and the commander that is like the primary contact. He's such a he's. You just meet certain people, and you just know that they're a good person, and I got that feeling from him the first time I met him. And not only is he like, I just think a good person at heart, but he really takes his role as a commander very seriously, and like, yeah, he really cares about his soldiers. So, not to say that like that makes him more deserving, but I'm just saying like it is going also to some good people. So that also is just a nice. So thank you, Claire, and Blonde Bob Scheller, and all the Cars for Ukraine people.
Claire threw in 50. Claire, I got you in for 5 tickets for tonight's raffle. Also, Pyro Kurt throwing in 30 for 3 tickets. Thank you, Pyro. That's bringing the total up to $240 tonight raised. 24 tickets, guys. Once again, the tickets are $10 a piece in the raffle. We've got a beautiful piece of a pendant or ornament, I should say, or either a Christmas tree or your wall, beautifully designed from one of Paige's supporters. We have a dual pendant right here for you and someone else you care about, made by K&K G&Gs. These are for luck. This is what this represents. Actually, Dima, the soldier that my friend that was captured that went back to Ukraine, he has 4 of these, one for each family member. Actually, one was for the baby that he had as of recently. So you would be sharing these unique items with him as well, and also a wonderful red and black flag that is from Dnipro that Paige will be mailing out to the raffle prize winner.
It's like a full-size flag made in Dnipro at a company called Kirasa that makes military uniforms and tactical gear. And they also make these flags, and they're really nice quality. And I've gone there. We've gone to their shop, yeah. Every time when I'm over there, because sometimes we purchase backup, like replacement plate carriers. One thing that they were working on was were clothing, and I've seen some other companies doing this too, but like I can't remember the word they used for it, but like if guys that are basically like laying down living in a hole for a few days, they're like clothing that they can but it's basically like the old pants that we used to have, the button pants, where it's easy, they can change, you don't have to stand up to change essentially, or especially if you're treating wounds or something like that. And then also those can be used for guys in the hospital as well. Just all sorts of, they just try to come up with all sorts of different ways to provide the guys with as much convenience and comfort as they can.
Also dropping in $10 as Spider Fate fell into the raffle, bringing us at $250. Thank you, Spider Fate. So we're at $250 on the raffle today, 25 tickets total.
Awesome.
I gotta share this story. One of the coolest, I think, stories I remember of so far that, like, to me, in my mind, is the most gangster shit ever. Is when Rowan reached out. He needed body armor. And he's like, "Hey, can you start something for me? I need some body armor." I'm like, "Bet." I'm like, how about something else? I can have something dropped off to you on the way while you're in Ukraine. And then I reached out to you, and you ended up meeting him down a dark road in the middle of the night to drop him off a new helmet and some chest seals.
Yeah, that was we were out after curfew in this town, like all the lights. Every town, like the lights are supposed to be off after a certain time because it makes it harder to see, for you're less likely to be hit, I guess, because they physically can't see you. So we're in this like pitch black town after curfew. This was on our way back. We were driving back to the Polish border so I could head home. And we still had like 30 or something minutes to get, we got stuck behind this, not war related, but a truck had gone, some kind of truck had gone off the embankment, and we had to stop in this highway and like wait for it to get pulled out. So we were delayed. So yeah, so it's like pitch black, and we just pull up in this town. And I had never met him before, and then he comes walking out, and he was just so sweet. Yeah, and so yeah, and then we took a video and took some pictures, and I sent it to you. And I was like, "Look who I'm with!" It was so fun.
I got a picture up that he sent me while I was at one of the events right there. Pretty good one that he sent me. So a little update too on Rowan, guys. He has been discharged from the military for up to 1 year with potential to expand that longer due to his head injury. Finally, because he's still having issues blacking out and schismatic symptoms. He finally got released from Kharkiv. We got him back home. He is now back home. He's been in and out of the hospital. I haven't talked to him in a week or two. Last time we checked, he was getting treatment back in the hospital, but he is back home. And man, to tell you the truth, after seeing this guy for a while and watching, like, he sent me pictures of when he was having the schismatic symptoms when his face would twitch uncontrollably. I'm like, I showed that to some of my military friends here, and they're like, why they gotta get him the fuck out now? Like, he shouldn't be in the military with symptoms like that after a head injury from a drone. So he fought tooth and nail, finally got some discharge paperwork to at least medically treat himself, potentially going back, depending on the circumstances later. But for now, he's safe and sound. And God damn it, at that point with the emotional attachment, at some point I just said, I just want to get this guy home. Like, I don't care about anything else. Whatever. Like, a primary focus at that point, getting him home. He finally made it there. So really
yeah,
cool.
he had Bombshell had said that she spoke to him yesterday. He wrote to me a few days ago too, because he has a new number. So I also briefly spoke with him. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that he's, for what it's worth, I'm guessing the reason why he was still, why he had not been released yet was probably had to do with leadership. There was somebody that didn't want, because I don't know this for sure, but I know this with certain like weapons and things like that. But like, you know, if a leader has like X amount of guys that they're letting go, it doesn't look good for them, kind of thing. So I think in some cases, some of them make that poor choice. That's just what I'm guessing. I think it was likely one, maybe two people, probably one person that was making that poor decision. So I'm definitely I'm glad to hear that he, of course, glad to hear that he is getting some time physically and mentally away to get better.
Yeah, that's one thing. Even after this war is going to end, that's one thing. Like, I think is going to be a huge focus is therapy and care for the men afterwards as well.
Yeah,
there's going to be so much of it, and even man, we could do so much more in this country here too. Like, I mean, I've got a horror story of my friend Dima who came here. Right? I mean, he was here. He hurt his back on his visa. They wouldn't renew it because he was out of work for a month, and he had to go back to Ukraine with his wife pregnant. So he's already back there now. They had the baby. He's safe and everything, but you know, he came here for a better life. And the guy's a freaking war hero, and we couldn't figure out how to keep him in our country. It's just pathetic. It irritates my soul, you know. But
I'm going to come back to that. I just wanted to. Ken has to leave, but he said he threw in another donation. You need to leave soon for medical reasons. So thank you, Ken, for your support, and hoping the best for you with whatever you have going on as well. So thank you very much.
Okay, Ken Vet, make sure if you do win this, come back and check the stream later. I will put you down for another ticket for Ken. Let me put it here. That's 26 tickets total, guys.
With regard to the soldiers and after life after war, I went to Kansas State University, which is right next to Fort Riley. I did date a soldier, an infantryman, for a couple of years after his first deployment. And his first deployment was like 2003, 2004, which is some of the worst time in Iraq. And then he deployed again when we were together later. His unit had one of the highest rates of suicide following their return. And so I have known, and I knew some of them personally, and some of the ones that are still around were obviously never the same, like significantly. Like, yeah, I don't know that any, I'm not aware of, but I don't know that anyone's figured out how to the best way to help them. But we're definitely not great at it here. So that is something that that is a big concern. And it's already, you know, some guys are already home, and not just for them, for their family, you know, because not in that case, they're not the only ones that with significant trauma. They're going home to families with significant trauma as well. So it's a very difficult situation.
Yeah, not to mention that the amount of time they're in combat is just absolutely, it's so much larger than most people that I've met with PTSD or the experiences that they've seen.
Yeah.
This is on a scale that no one's seen before, and not even like, this wasn't even in World War II. World War II didn't have drones with bombs flying out of the sky to blow you up. They didn't have robots. They didn't, you know, it's a whole different type of fear and the amount of shock to the nervous system. It's got to be crazy. I've even seen, like, when they had some speakers over at the Sunflower Society, some of the vets, when they had the drone up there taking pictures, their eyes were on that thing. Like with the little amount of time that I've spent over there during a full scale in comparison to them, I hate that. I live near a small airport, and then there's a larger airport that's nearby, and it's an unsettling, like, I know in my brain, like, they're not there, but like, it's still, there was one today, I was sitting outside when my kids were playing, and there was a large aircraft that flew over. Couldn't see it, but it was loud. And it just makes my stomach feel icky. And that's for me, you know, like, that's not even not for yeah. And then, like, I was at like a concert, and there was a drone up in the air, and it's creepy as shit. I get the same sensation. I couldn't imagine how impactful that is on someone who's actually being hunted by these things.
Yeah.
It's a level of I can't my brain couldn't handle it. I could barely handle
Yeah.
it from behind a screen over here at home, you know.
Yeah, I agree, Mitch. It's not a contest for who suffers the most, but also it's more about access to recovery, basically, you know, and that's my fear too. Like we have access to like in theory with the VA and everything, like we do have access to our veterans have access to care, albeit not the best in my not my experience as a veteran, but in my experience as a family member of veterans and a friend of veterans that I've seen go through some of this. But yeah, in Ukraine, like they just don't have a lot, and there are more now. Like I saw Blonde Bombsheller mentioned the opening the pet therapy program and the Carpathians and stuff, and like that's great and so needed. And I know that there are other organizations working on that, but just the amount of it needed versus the number of people that will need that support is there's just not enough, at least for now. So.
Okay, I do have an anonymous donation made for the raffle. Unfortunately, whoever made that, I can't see the amount and I can't see who did it. So if you were the anonymous donor and you want to remain anonymous, let me know. If you don't, let me know.
Depending on if you know one of us on X or any other whatever, just send us a message or DM or whatever.
Yeah, if you can, real quick. If you want to remain anonymous, if you did it by accident, just let me know in Discord or in the chat that it was somebody that's watching the stream currently, so I can add you to the raffle. If you could. Gosh, now I'm curious how much it is. It won't show.
Bombsheller mentioned the air raid sirens, the kind of the not funny thing, but like that also works the opposite. So I live in Kansas, so we have tornado sirens, and like once a month they test them, and then they go like just a week or two ago they went off a couple of times. So that sound actually, it doesn't sound quite the same, but that sound, it's eerie to me over there, but it doesn't. I think it probably might not have the same. I might not have the same kind of feeling, hearing that as someone that's never heard like large sirens like that in a town or city. So just kind of interesting too, like that it can work both ways. Hi, End Time Show official.
Hello, Nick. Good to see you guys. I'm going to plug Nick's stream again. Thank you for the raid earlier, Nick. Guys, if you haven't tuned into Nick Suter, End Time, you guys haven't lived yet, okay? The amount of times I lurk in this man's chat just to get smarter is, I'm not going to admit it. I'm not. He's going to think I'm stalking him. It's going to get weird. Weirder than it already is. There's Nick at End Time. Guys, you should subscribe over to Nick at End Time. Extremely educational channel. If I want to, like I said, if I want to get smarter, I go there. Love waiting for the new updates. It's a great time over there. In Time official show. What's that about Haiti again? A pleasure. Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you. We even have his own wonderful emoji, handpicked by himself. I'm gonna put it in the chat there. He absolutely loves that picture. And
I was wondering if that was him.
Whatever you do, don't put a burning goat next to it. It's a trigger point, if you will.
Is there a burning goat emoji?
I don't have a particular burning goat emoji. I did, however, have him on the channel once, and I was working on a thumbnail, but I didn't back out because we weren't on that level yet. I think where I felt comfortable with the actual the thumbnail. Thinking back, I probably should have done it anyways. God, where can I find that thing at?
Fire and go. Okay, yeah.
Jeez, I have more pictures here of NAFO shit, thumbnails. I have more pictures of you on my computer than I do my own kids. That sounds creepy.
Wait, me or him?
Both. Oh my god, the
Oh
amount of
yeah, Alan, the Cold War siren. I bet that I've seen some videos of my son was actually asking my younger son was actually asking me the other day about I don't know how it came up. Oh, no, I don't remember how it came up, but we were just talking about the differences in sound between like sirens in Ukraine and then tornado sirens and stuff here. Oh, he saw a tornado siren. That's what it was. And then I handed him my phone. I showed him a video of that I had recorded of a Ukrainian siren and his I don't talk too much. And he's very young, so uh, I he kind of understands what I do with regard to Ukraine, but not really. But when he was like, I said something about the video, and he's like, "You took this video, Mom," and I think it kind of blew his little mind a little bit because he didn't make that when I was explaining what the siren was and everything. He hadn't like pictured mommy in an area that had these alarms going off. I was just I don't know even why I brought that up, but Nick channel running.
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing there. LJ, it looks like a little inside. See, I was putting Donald Trump out there where he's patting Bill Clinton on the junk and putting 6942 to see if anybody could catch that. But I don't know if that flew very well on the internet. But yeah. It's coded messages here.
Oh, thank you, Mitch. That's why I brought that up, was to talk about and we looked up, there's some video game or something that my kids play that has like a certain siren or whatever, and it's freaking eerie. Even the sirens in Ukraine have different sounds because there's like the one that, well, most of it, in my experience, the ones that I've heard across the country generally sound one way, but the ones in Kharkiv are creepier sounding. I don't know, something about the tone, or I can't remember like what it was. The tone was a bit different, and it also just like wasn't as clear. I don't know it, but as we were pulling in, I had never been to Kharkiv before, and we went there this last year, 2025, and as we were pulling in, our windows were down because they don't let me put the AC on in the car, and it was going off, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" I did not like that. And then when I was standing at the window, we were in this apartment building, and that was actually June 6th of last year, which turned out to be the largest attack on Kharkiv since the beginning of the full scale. So that was a hell of a night. But standing at the we were in the ninth story of a building, and I was standing with the window open, and there were like the moon. It was like almost a full moon. It was a bright moon, and it was pretty dark. And then hearing that whatever their sirens, that kind of strange or sounding siren was really creepy. It got a lot creepier when the cobs started dropping and all the drones were coming our way. But yeah, I did not like the Kharkiv sirens.
Okay, I was able to locate the anonymous donor, and they will remain anonymous, but I have them, and it was for $30.
Thank you.
I will put it on here.
Yeah, it's interesting. And then I was explaining to my son, again, who's very young, like why they sound so unpleasant, and it's to get your attention, because you wouldn't, if you had like a nice sound, you get used to it. It's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable and get and sound unnatural and get your attention, and it works.
Okay, there we go. That brings us up to $290 so far on the raffle donations, guys. So I'm gonna plug it one more time here, guys. This is a raffle stream, hanging out with Paige in Kansas, sharing stories about Ukraine, her adventures there, and her support that she's done. Here is a wonderful. I got something else I want to talk to you about after this too. Wonderful pendant right here. Pretty cool. You could, or pendant. What's the word I'm looking for? Ornament. Thank you. Help. Ornament for a Christmas tree or for your wall. This is made by one of her supporters in the UK. Here is from Callie from K&K GG's. Here's a dual pendant for luck. One for you, one for a friend. And also Dima has these with his family, if you guys know who Dima is. And also on the raffle prize is a red and black flag from the Dnipro area. That's going to be mailed out by Paige. So it's a triple raffle prize night tonight. $10 gets you a ticket. At the end of the stream, we will do the spin-off to see who wins it. The fundraiser link is pinned into the description. Just put in there for the tickets or whatever, or whatever you want, or just whatever you'll be thrown in there. And then you can contact me through social media, through my Discord channel, or email me at the end if you win. The email is pinned in the description of the video, your address, and then we'll mail it off to you. And then that will be that. How will Anonymous know they've won the raffle? I know who Anonymous is. Anonymous messaged me on Discord. Yeah. Anonymous sent 30 on Discord. And I know Anonymous well. So winner gets all three. So this is, if you're looking to get all three prizes, you're going to get a flag from the Dnipro, a red and black flag, Ukrainian flag from the Dnipro. You're going to get a badass ornament that I want on my tree. And then you're going to get a pendant from K&K, which is badass too, because only a few people in the community have these, including a war hero from Azovstal who escaped, who was traded back in Russian captivity and came to America. And him and his family are the ones that have it. So it's a big one tonight, guys. So $10 gets you a ticket. That's double what we usually do. We've got $1,600 to do on this fundraiser. So far, we've got 290. So we're at 1310. 1310 left to go.
And just so I don't mention this as often anymore, and I need to, but 100% of the donations, I'm fortunate enough that I've been working with this group called Ukraine Frontline for a while now, which was really helpful, especially because with trying to manage everything on top of donations and money coming in, that was a lot for me to do. I mean, you can imagine after $335,000, that's like, there's a lot to so they have been taking over that aspect of it for me. So, but 100% of the money goes to these to Ukraine and to the projects and to the repairs and things like that we that we fundraise that I fundraise for, and that in this case we're doing together. So I just wanted to point that out as well, that there's no overhead or anything like that.
That's really hard to come by. And the fact that you are a smaller, I guess, sort of organization or fundraiser, but 100% goes to it. So that's pretty cool as well. I know Ukraine Frontline, you said. I know they've done other fundraisers as well. They do a lot. I think one of their representatives was involved in 50 states, 50 cars, maybe. I remember Claire even.
Probably they've got their number of people wise. They're not a huge group either, but they do a lot of big work. So I met one of them in DC actually. She was part of another nonprofit, and we met at a Ukraine Action Summit there and became friends and have been working together. I love her. I wish I could see her more. She lives far away, but yeah. So I've been the people I've gotten to meet through. I mean, you are one of them. But there's meaning networking has been essential for doing any of this work, but also it's just really cool.
Yeah, don't quote me on that exactly, but I know Claire was also, at least she was aware of the organization, and at some point they might have had ties with one of the fundraisers as well. I'm not 100% so I don't want to link that by him, but yes. Yeah,
I kind of got connected. We met, but then they had done a lot of larger scale stuff. But they, when I had talked to them about how I did smaller, I did smaller groups in Ukrainian units. So a lot of foreign based or nonprofits. A lot of especially early on, a lot of foreign fighters were getting a lot of support, and unfortunately a lot of the Ukrainian units, because they didn't have, for different reasons, didn't have a social media presence, didn't have connections with these groups or whatever, they weren't getting the support they needed, and so they wanted to be able to help some of the smaller groups and Ukrainian units and everything. So that's been a godsend, really. I said godsend. I don't. I've been very fortunate that those human beings have been hitting me and helping me. I read the word hit, helping me and helping Ukraine.
Freudian slip.
Helping me help Ukraine. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that as well too. There wasn't a lot of people who were out there actually supporting the Ukrainians. It was a lot at the beginning. It was a lot of foreign fighters. I'm like, okay, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I guess But it's good. It's good now that I've seen a lot more Ukrainian accounts that are getting social media and getting keen to it over the years, I'd imagine.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's not a competition, but unfortunately, because some people do have treated it as a competition. I'll just put it that way. And so, the most of the people that are still around doing this have not done that because I guess I don't want to say like we're in it for the right reason. I don't know. It's because it's. I don't know. We've learned to work together. I have some groups. If I have something extra or somebody, it's harder for me now. Again, being like one person works with smaller groups, and I also primarily work. Ukraine Frontline is the only organization that I work with. I don't say only, but now I primarily only work with small Ukrainian organizations in Ukraine. That I knew through mutual friends here, or that I knew from being in the Peace Corps and living over there. So that has also kind of I've had to branch out and network a little bit.
A little more about your work over there. I noticed this picture that you had posted on here. You holding an orphan baby, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm
laughing because I'm not. It's not. There's nothing funny about that. I just every once in a while. I like say things or like somebody says something like that, and it's just kind of it's unreal. Like I don't know, it's just a weird thing to think about. Yeah.
Let's tell us a little bit more about that story. Was that one of the areas you were at? There was an area it was like turned into an orphanage or.
No, so that's a NICU in Dnipro. Early on, I did a lot of when I was doing all the civilian aid. The first year and a half, that was through a Ukrainian organization, the Hug Me Foundation. Who that was also the woman that ran it was a relative of a. Sorry, sometimes when I think about Ukrainians, certain things my brain switches languages. A family member of one of my good friends. And so we did a lot of stuff with there were some orphanages that we helped just with basics, shorts and t-shirts kind of things, because a lot of those organizations relied on donations from Ukrainians prior to the full scale. And then Ukrainians, all their donation money was going to, war related stuff. So they didn't have the same amount of support. That baby is was in a NICU. In Dnipro, there were several orphan babies there, and then some babies that weren't orphan. They had significant medical needs, and this was earlier. I mean, the hospital still exists, but at least it did when I walked past it in 2025. We helped there before I went there. So that was in 2023, but in 2022, for example, there was a baby, a war orphan that basically he couldn't eat. The tube from his mouth to his stomach wasn't connected. So I raised money and we paid for his surgery. I ended up in 2024 getting confirmation because they have a lot going on, so I try not to bug them about that stuff. But when I was there. Maybe that was in 2023. Sorry, it doesn't matter. When I was physically that day that I was holding the baby in that picture, I asked them if they had heard anything about him, and then they showed me pictures of him, and he was just this beautiful little baby, and it was just really cool. I did get some personal stuff, I felt good about it, and he was living this healthy life and everything. So we bought buy medicines for babies and stuff there. So that's what was there. We were buying a bunch of medicines for babies and some clothing and just other things, and then brought some extra medical supplies and stuff like that for the hospital. So that's what that is.
That would be an emotional experience for me. That would be really hard for me because being a parent myself, that would be just a very difficult one for me to. Maybe not at the time, but afterwards, I think I'd probably break down pretty hard.
Yeah. They the I think I want to say it was like 3 months was usually like because they couldn't move the orphan babies to the actual like home for children until their paperwork, like their documents were created. And because of the war and a lot of the bureaucracy that existed before either couldn't function or was so delayed that like one of the the babies that was there was like 6 months old. And there's only so much. I don't think that they do a great job at that hospital, but they're also limited. And I think that baby probably wasn't getting the interaction and that she needed. And so that was probably the hardest one for me. She's a beautiful little girl too, just big bright eyes and just so pretty. And even if she wasn't pretty, I still would have been, I'm just describing her, and she's just yeah, it's so there and there. Yeah, I don't want to get too into all that, but so it was sad, but we helped them a lot.
I had a similar experience with my daughter because she had really bad medical issues when she was younger, and we took her to Oakland Children's Hospital one time, and had her there. This one was actually in Sacramento at that time. She had seizures, so we've been everywhere. We've been in Sacramento, Oakland, San Francisco. I remember it wasn't Oakland because that hospital, the layout was different. This one was at Sacramento, and me and my now ex-wife were there, and it was a dual room, and there was a child next to us, sick, something really bad going on. Nobody there the entire time we were there, and I'm just like, dude, I'm like, come on, like, where's the family? Is there somebody? And they'd come in and check on the child, and I'm just like, it was the loneliest feeling not seeing anybody there for this kid that was sick. It was terrible. It was between that was a tough one. I think the tougher one was actually at Oakland's Children's Hospital. They had us above the cancer ward or on the same level as the cancer ward, and the children there was that was tough. Seeing the look in their eyes, that was a definitely hard moment for me. I couldn't imagine knowing all the stuff, seeing all the stuff, and being at an orphanage or at a NICU in Ukraine with that same emotional experience, because I've already got the memories before. It'd be an overload for me, I'd imagine.
So, and while I was there that trip, they took me into one of the rooms they ended up having another organization commit to it before he was even back home. So that was great, but their ceiling was cracked because the explosions, their ceiling was cracking. And then one of their air conditioners wasn't working. They just have like one of the little, it was high up in the building, and they just like one of those like, the European kind of style small ones or whatever. But so, so they were with the cracks in the ceiling. It was obviously terrifying because it was also over the machines that ran like the ventilators. So if that stuff came down, like the babies would die. The ones that were on those, they wouldn't be able to breathe. But before I went there, on a positive note, my people who donated, and we were able to basically we create their basement was just like like dirt hallways. Like it was just like I have a picture of it somewhere, but that it was just eerie because it was like two women at the end of the hallway with their newborn babies, and it was just like one light in this hall, which is like stone walls and like dirt. So we raised money to reinforce the basement and then to make it more comfortable for them, like get some cots and blankets and stuff like that. So we had like, I don't know what they're called, but it's like framing, like metal framing. Like sometimes their houses are built with like 2x4s, but it's like the metal kind. That, and so they like drywalled a little bit of an area just to make it, because they were spending so much time down there, especially not just early on, forever. So that was cool. You know, but at the same time, like the babies that were hooked up to the ventilators that they couldn't bring down. So when there are air raids like that, they just have to stay up there. Which is horrible, but I mean, it is what it is. So
It's a tough situation all around.
mm-hmm.
Little update we have. Anonymous made a donation. Anonymous, you left a comment 24. So I'm not sure if that's the same Anonymous. If it is, let me know what the donation was there. I'm not sure what the 24 stands for. Maybe it was $24. But let me know. Get a hold of me during stream if you want me to add you to the tickets. Guys, one more thing. We have K&K GG's throwing in $20, guys. And this is getting paid forward. Hi, Paige, Chungus, and Chungalites. Please donate these 2 tickets to 2 supporters in chat who haven't donated already. So here's the deal. If you had not made a donation already and you were in the chat, put a Ukrainian flag inside of the chat, and then I will add you to the raffle. The first 2 to put a Ukrainian flag in the chat who have not donated are going to get put to the raffle on the list. So let me see the Ukrainian flags if you want a free ticket in the raffle. Thank you, K&K. By the way, guys, here's what we're raffling. Speaking of K&K, cool little special pendants here. You're going to get one for you and a friend. Good luck pendants. Only a few people have those in the community and also now in Ukraine, since I gave a set for Dima and his family members. You're also going to get a really cool ornament that was made by one of Paige's supporters out of the UK. This thing is badass. This is bad. I'm a Christmas guy, so for me, this one hits. And then you're also going to get a red and black flag, Ukrainian flag from Dnipro that Paige has for you. All right, so that's
full size flag. Really nice quality fish.
Full size flag from Dnipro, straight from Ukraine from Paige. All 3 raffle prizes are together in this. So you are going to have that chance. I want K&K's pin so bad. Well, you know how to get them. Now, guys, we have two tickets left. If you have not entered the raffle yet, throw a Ukrainian flag in the chat, and I will put you into the raffle. Looks like so far I got 30. 30 and 1 anonymous. Yep, thank you, KK, got that. We have one more anonymous donation. I don't know who did it. So one more anonymous, and then I can add you if you let me know who you are in DM or somehow and how much the anonymous was. It says 24. That's all I got for the comments, but anonymous left it. So please let me know, guys, who that was. It's a mandala. I learned a new word today.
Agreed, Betty. Laughter isn't always a response to comedy. It's also a common response to shock and disbelief. I laugh at in scary moments, or even when we were visiting some of our wounded guys in the hospital this past year, and I was going down the concrete stairs, and I slipped and nearly broke my ass on bouncing down 3 concrete steps. And I started laughing, and Natasha was like, "Stop laughing, it's not funny."
A mandala is a geometric circular design representing the universe. Okay, that's what a mandala is. Now I know. Darpat, I did get your donation. You are in there. I got you for 1 ticket, if that is correct. I got you. So far, we are at 30 tickets, 300 raised, so that's 1,300 left on the fundraiser. Let me just post a little bit more so you guys know what we're doing. I can circle back to that. We have a vehicle getting repaired for these gentlemen right here. 47 snipers. They need a vehicle repaired. We're looking at a knocking engine, new injectors, and obviously we got to buy them another set of tires. There's other vehicle repair they need. They just need to tune it up. It's been a workhorse, so we need to get that dialed in, and then we got other work to do afterwards as well. So lots going on with the 47th. They are moving into position as well. Correct, Paige?
Oh, they're there.
They're already there. So they need this vehicle ASAP repaired. There's a picture of the vehicle right there. It's been through hell, and it's still going to go through hell. We got to fix it.
It's been all over the place. It was in Avdiivka. It was down when they were on their rotation in the Odessa area, and now it's up north.
Now it's up north. So the thing's got some miles on it. They need a quick repair on it. That's what we are going for. Do they need tires?
Always.
I think that's a given. Like as soon as we get this thing, if we just did like the vehicle repair and the fix, they're gonna pop a tire right after we get it fixed, and then we're gonna have to do another donation.
They're with all the work that Ukraine did on repairing roads, redoing and repairing roads, since 2014, they're all just with like all the heavy equipment explosions, all the heavy equipment, you know. A lot of the roads are terrible, and yeah, like when I've been over there, we've busted 2 tires, and a lot of the tires that we have to pull over and buy like a used tire or something. But yeah, they're constantly the suspension on every car is like shot, and yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is.
Holy shit. One for each in chat right now. Mitch Ashdown just made a $300 donation.
Thank you, Mitch.
Holy cow. Mitch, I'm putting you down for the tickets. You want that for the raffle, correct? He said one for each in chat right now. How do you want this done, Mitch? You let me know. Holy cow. We're at that puts us at 1,000. You want those raffle tickets? One for each in chat. And does that mean I'm giving a ticket to each?
I think that's what it means.
Yeah, it does,
yeah.
Doesn't it? Okay. So
that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Holy shit. How am I going to distribute this? I gotta do some thinking. No, put one ticket for each person in chat. Okay, guys, here's the deal. If you want a ticket and you're in the chat right now, currently, put a Ukrainian flag into the chat.
There you go.
That'll work. And then I'll distribute them from all the Ukrainian flags until we run out. Mitch, I have you down for 2 other tickets. Are you sure you don't want some more tickets to that? That's a huge donation. Thank you. Get the names fast. Yeah, we got
comment Ukrainian flag to get your name on there.
We got Steve. We got BB. Spider Fate. That's 4. I gotta.
While you're doing that, Chungus, I'm going to show some flags of my own. I do, and I forgot to mention this to you earlier, but I do need to get going. I have to get up really early. That's soccer games. Back to mom reality. But I can before I leave, we can take a picture. I'll hold up the flag and stuff. So if you stick around. But yeah, I'm sorry I didn't mention that. I didn't realize what time it was. Time flies when you're helping people, I guess. These are some flags that I've received. Why do I look so yellow? What is it?
Probably because you have so many yellow flags around you right now.
Oh, probably. Ew, that's terrible. It's not a good color for anyone. Whatever. This is from the 109th. That was, I don't know, you're not gonna be able to see much of this, but (109th Brigade, 109th Battalion). They are no longer a thing. Unfortunately, they fought to the bitter end in many of their cases in New York, Ukraine. But this is one of the groups that we did support quite a bit earlier on. So it's an honor to have that, as sad as it is, but What else we got over here?
Okay, Nick, have a good night. I got you down for a ticket, by the way, too. I am, depending on if we get more Ukrainian flags in the chat, I'll cycle them back to the people who put Ukrainian flags for more tickets. Guys, right now we have, let's see, 6. So we still have 14 raffle tickets to do. Also, we still have 2 tickets that were put in if you have not yet put in a ticket. So let's see some Ukrainian flags. If not, I'm going to rotate the free tickets to the people who put Ukrainian flags so far. I have
It's a free raffle entry. Someone
free
paid,
raffle entry.
Yeah, so just comment a Ukrainian flag and you get 1 free entry.
So yeah.
Thank you, Nick.
So right now I have Darpat with a free, Steve, BB, Spiderfate, Nick, and Nikki. And then if anybody else puts a Ukrainian flag in the chat, I will add you to the free raffle now. LJ. Got LJ now. And then we'll go from there.
Awesome.
We still have 7, but we're looking at 13 left. Nikki, got you on here. 13 plus 2 free from K&K for anybody who's not yet donated to the raffle. So technically we have 15 spots left. 15 spots, 15 free tickets. If I don't get 15 more, I'm going to cycle them back to everybody who put Ukrainian flags in the chat. So they'll go back to Darpat, Steve, BB, Spiderfate, Nick, Nikki, and LJ. Cool.
Awesome.
I gotta put that number here so I remember. There we go. I'm smart. I do smart
do
stuff.
it. So this one is my personal one from the 47th. Those guys, that the picture that you pulled up where we were outside of Avdiivka and I said we saw Bradley. This is what they, in the picture where they were signing flags, this is one of the ones they were signing. And also 2 of the guys from the 79th that we helped as well. Well, one of them's no longer serving. They also signed it, and we were in an area that's occupied now with them. But yeah, so these are the 47th. I should be careful about not showing names, I guess. I can't remember what they wrote on here. I should check that first. 47th and the 26th battalion is what is their battalion. But yeah, together to victory. Paige, thank you for your help. Thank you. 47th Brigade, 26th Battalion. Alex, thank you. Дякуємо. Слава Україні. Right, Alex. So that's what they were signing. We had them sign a few flags for like fundraising, and then they signed a couple for Natasha and I, which is just a meaningful thing to, like there's not a whole, they don't have much to give. So and especially after, the patches, which I have plenty of patches that I'm grateful to have as well, but they didn't have unlimited numbers of patches. So after some time, they just didn't have anything to give, but they wanted to show their thanks or whatever in another way. So that just gave them a chance to kind of write that. And it's like a really valuable, not monetarily valuable, but valuable to me, just and unfortunately I do have a couple of flags like the 109th and then one from one of my groups at the 108th where a couple of the guys that signed the flag have died. So it's also just a personal way to kind of, they're memorialized for me in that sense. So
yeah, you were sharing some of the stories the 108th went through, and that was insane. The one guy who had been shot with his buddies and he ended up killing the Russian with his own gun. That's
when he had to fight him. Yeah. They were knocked down by a grenade. And then he got up and the guy came over to finish. He was just one dude. I guess he'd gotten separated and he came over to finish them off with his rifle. And he thought quickly and our guy thought quickly and was able to, I don't know how he did it, but was able to get up and they were fighting hand-to-hand combat. And he ended up getting him in a position where he had bite marks on his finger because the got his hand like that, but he ended up getting him in a position where you could push his fingers in his eyes to subdue him long enough to where he could eliminate him. And then was able to. He was medic, so he was able to administer aid to the other 3 guys, and they all 4 of them lived. That's actually who we were visiting. One of the guys we were visiting in the hospital when I fell on the stairs.
That's a crazy story.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't have a call sign yet. He was a pretty young guy, but he didn't have a call sign yet, and he earned the call sign Rambo after that. It was cute. They let Natasha and I roll his bed down outstairs so he could smoke, and all the like commanders and older guys were all standing around, like kind of, you know, joking with him, giving a shit, and like we put sunglasses on him, and he's out there like he's just in like underwear, you know, with like a hole in his arm and stuff, but he was smoking a cigarette with these sunglasses on. We're all just kind of, you know, just it was just a kind of a funny in such a horrible situation. We were just glad that he survived and he was gonna be okay. But and then it's just an incredible story. So no one should ever have to do that, but he did it, and we also, because he did go through something horrible, you know, that was definitely the scariest. I will say that's the scariest moment in his life. You know, it was good to kind of just talk about it, but not. I actually sat in the room. Everybody else left, and I sat, and he told me the story. It was just the 2 of us, and that was really intense.
Yeah, Dima shared a story like that with me too. It wasn't like that, but it was when he was in Mariupol during the big siege, when he was with his group in Lazar, and they were so close fighting that the Russians were throwing hand grenades at him, and he was shooting around a corner because you could see him. They were that close inside of a blown up building. Lost all radio. They couldn't communicate with anybody. They didn't know how to get out that particular day, and it was so hectic. They waited till nightfall. They were completely surrounded. They waited till nightfall, and they snuck out and got out. And he called it his 2nd birthday. And he told me that's the only. I interviewed him once for my journalism, and after like thinking what the man had been through, I just talked to him after that. Hey, how you doing? How's America? How are things working out? And then, you know, that's how we became really good friends.
Yeah.
Handpicked me to go to his baby shower. Me and like 2 other dudes. That was it. He's like,
that's cool.
Yeah. He shared that story with me, and man, you could tell. It must have been hard, you know, a city of 250,000 people, the Russians hunting your family, your son needing medical care from the bombing, and then you get captured, not knowing what the fuck's gonna happen. And then they tell you, you know, Ukraine's over, you're done, whatever, and you're stuck there. And then to still have friends there.
Yeah.
That haven't got out. That's why a lot of the Free Azovstal rally, obviously, that's very important to him because he still has friends there. So, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a couple of guys that unfortunately I don't even think they're, well, fortunately, unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, like I said earlier, I think they were probably KIA. I don't think that they were taken prisoner because I haven't heard anything since. But it's kind of weird. Like I was saying, I would rather die than be captured by Russians. So it's like, but you know, when it's like people that you know, it's like I don't hope that they're dead, but also I hope that they're not captured and being tortured, you know, or that happened never. So it's a weird feeling, I guess.
Yeah, it is. I wouldn't know what to do. I just wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't know how to handle that. I just be at the mercy of a horrific group of people that would want to do nothing but torture you and break you mentally.
They don't view you as human.
Yeah, they don't view their own men as human if they disobey
Mhm.
orders. Oh, absolutely madness. I'm gonna peek in one more time at the fundraiser, see if there's any extra tickets, and I think we're gonna call it then, and then I'm gonna distribute whatever is remaining. Mitch Ashdown with the huge last donation. Let me see if anything new has happened. Mitch, you had 2 tickets already inputted into the system. Do you want me to move those to the other group as well, or do you want to keep them in the group? If so, I'm going to leave you on the spreadsheet, and then if it lands on your name for those 2 other tickets, I'll rerun it if that's what you want. If not, I'll leave them there. I'm going to go ahead and distribute now the rest. So it was 15 left. So
Steve just asked if I am still teaching Ukrainians English any longer. No, not officially. I was a teacher for 2 years, and teaching is not for the faint of heart. I've always had respect for teachers. I have even more after doing it. Not in a formal setting, but I do. I guess in a way, when I'm over there, like most of the time I'm speaking Ukrainian, but also sometimes I'll speak if it's like really simple phrases, like friends. It's kind of like a refresher for them in some cases, but not in any sort of like formal setting. And then also, I've made friends with some of the internally displaced Ukrainians that have moved over here, and so spending time with them, that's all. So in that way, they're learning as well. Gives them some more practice, but not like in a formal setting.
all right, let me throw these out here now. I'm just going to circle them to everybody else so they're added to this. I got a little math to do. Paige, if you got anything to talk about while I'm doing this, feel free. My brain has to calculate.
Yes, I was going to show you guys a couple of things.
If I'm doing 2 things at once, I'm overachieving.
You're good. Just some of the patches that I've shown this before on some of the lives before, but I always just think they're interesting to see. I was really honored to this when I was in Ukraine this last year. Where's the main patch here? This is a Marines patch, and they're the 35th. So it's from the 35th Marine Brigade, and the top patch is the individual guy. This is like their Marines patch, but he gave me both of these. But his call sign is Slonik, like elephant. And their brigade gave me a medal when I was here. Let me take the plastic off. Awarded me a medal. I was there for volunteerism, and it's got like it's like got a little notarized little booklet, and then a document that comes with it. It's like official, so it's really fucking cool. And I don't know if that's gonna focus there, but that's a huge honor, and yeah, there's nothing else to say besides that's just a huge honor. I've got some patches from some of my friends, people also friends, and then people that I've gotten to know, especially through a lot of this. This is from a guy. It says "One shot, one ruse." That was given to me while in 2023 by one of my guys when we were in a village. We were about a half a mile from the trenches. But it was pretty quiet that day, and they said it's because it was like raining a little bit. Well, it was raining, not a little bit, but it was raining. And they said that they were like, yeah, it's quiet because terrorists don't work when it's raining. So it was pretty quiet that day. These 2 are some close people to me. Where did I just go? Where did this go? I just had it in my hand. Sorry, bear with me for a second here. Marines, 3rd. This is from the 79th. That's the 2 guys that I was saying that are on that other flag. They took us to, I think it's pronounced Kurakhove, which was unfortunately was taken after we were there, not too long after we were there, but really good dudes. I don't know where that.
LJ Boone asks, Paige, what was one of the funniest things that has happened during your time being there?
I'll tell you in just a second. That's funny. I already know it. These ones, I'll just show you these last couple. This one is my friend Diesel. He's at the 108th. That's his like personal one that he gave me back in the day. And then this is from Romashka Chamomile as her call sign, and it's Ukropochka, which is like a play on a slur that Ukrainians are called. So it's like a girl soldier on there. I like that one. And then this was a a trophy that was given to me from a Russian it was given to me by a Ukrainian, but removed from the enemy after they were removed from Earth. Yeah, anyways, there's more of those. Okay, funniest is probably the jet. Thank you, Betty. I was at Natasha's house and I was getting ready to do an interview with a local TV station here in Kansas City. So I was getting like my phone and stuff set up and getting situated in this kind of like hallway in her house. And and a jet flew over the house really low and really fucking fast. Because we were we're pretty not far at that point. We were maybe 60 miles from the front. And they were going toward the front, so they're going quick. And I had not heard anything like that level of sound in over there yet. And so, and it's really quick, but I was sitting at this like desk in this corridor area, and I just like stood up, and this is literally, I stood up and I was looking at the window at the end of the hall, and I just thought, well, this might be it. That's the only thought that I had. And then it was done. And then Natasha knew, because this was the first time I had been over there since the full scale began. Natasha knew that she'd been with me the whole time, knew that I hadn't heard something like that yet. So she comes running in. She's like, "It's a jet. And I was like, "Whose jet?" Because I was like, that doesn't make me feel like, is it theirs or whatever? She's like, "No, it's ours." So then I had to get on and like do this interview while I'm like jacked up, this adrenaline rush, and then we ended up taking an Uber to go grab some dinner a little bit later and meet up with a couple of commanders and soldiers. And in the Uber, I was like, we picked up another volunteer, and I was like, I almost peed my pants, and like talking like that is not as common like in Ukraine. Like, so the Uber driver, like he was like the serious Ukrainian guy, but like even he started like just losing it because could tell. I don't know. It was just kind of funny that I was like, I almost peed my pants. I guess probably hearing somebody that had never experienced, even by that point they were used to that sound. So I didn't pee, but I would say that was probably, and afterward was one of the funniest things. So.
Okay, I think I got everything tallied up here. Guys, I got everything. So we're looking at around 59 tickets that I have tallied here. We've got everyone from Something Wrong, Alan, Steve, BB, LJ, Ken Vet, Mitch, Claire, you're all in here. Pyro, Spider Fate, Ken, and then Anonymous, Darpat, you're in here. Nick is in here. So I've got you guys all rotated in, and then Betty Jean, I have you in here as well for free tickets. So I think it's time to spin the wheel and do the raffle.
Let's go
to see who is going to win. So I've got 59 slots marked here. So guys, I think it's time. Let me just refresh one more time here to make sure I didn't miss anybody who put in a final ticket at the end.
And can you tell us our final total one more time?
So it's like $600, I think. That's is what awesome. We did today. Yeah, we're at like 1,000. There's also an anonymous donation. I don't know how much that was.
Okay.
So
if you don't hear from them, I'll reach out to the gal that to have her confirm that.
Let me just double check here. Okay, I got the other donation. I got the other one. Okay. So I'm going to put that on anonymous slot 2 here.
Yeah, Mitch, that would be intense.
Okay. Boom. Okay. Got that one. So then that puts us where we are at. Yeah, it was $10 donation, so that's a ticket. I'll put Anon down there too. So dang. Okay. Here we go. So we've got 60 slots filled out. I'm gonna bring it on over here, right to the middle, in between both of us. Let me make sure I've got 1 through 60.
I'm excited because while we were doing this, I just found this was like tucked between something, but I lost this trident pendant, and I just found it while we were on here. So that's a funny coincidence.
Okay, guys, here we go. We're going to see who wins the 3 prizes tonight. 3.
Yes, and thank you again so much. Like I said, I mean, I think I've whether it's going to somebody that I know or care about or not, it's important. But in this case, this particular group of guys. I've been fortunate enough to get to know them and to be able to help them and everything. And then they're just, I'm personally grateful, as well. So thank you.
All right, we're going to spin it, guys. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. This is the fun part. $36. Nikki won. Nikki Hill, number 36. That would have been a donated ticket as well from Mitch. So Mitch Ashdown hooked you up. Nikki Hill wins tonight, guys. So congratulations, Nikki, on a donated ticket.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Very cool.
That's awesome. And
All
we'll
right.
do more. Like I was showing you guys some of the patches. I've got lots of other stuff. I have some other, not necessarily this kind of the red and black flag, but some other stuff. So next time I'm able to join, I'm looking forward to being able to share some of these things with you as well. So like as a prize.
Okay, let me I don't know if Nikki's still here. I will message. All right, there it is. Oh, there she is. Okay. Congratulations, Nikki. Guys, wow, what an awesome stream. You won some big stuff tonight. Jeez. Wow. You got anything else to add, Paige? I'm cooked tonight.
No, I'm just so grateful every time we come on here. I'm grateful for you too. Thank you for doing this, not just when I'm on here, but obviously when I'm on here, we've been able to raise a lot of money just hanging out and talking about, what's going on, what they need and everything. So thank you for doing that. I mean that like more now than ever because I know you've gone through harder times and we all have our lives back home and our kids and stuff, and it gets really hard to keep up because there's a level of enthusiasm that you have to maintain to get people motivated and excited and feeling things to want to help. So when you don't have any energy left to give, it's especially hard, and then you have the guilt that comes along. So it's just anytime we're able to do that. I'm just grateful for the help for my guys and for everything that we've been able to do through your streams. It's been awesome. And thank you for all of your subscribers and viewers and everything. I actually like when you said that Mitch donated 300 in my mind, like I was happy crying, but I honestly, I'm at the point where, so just know that I was like mentally happy crying and so grateful for you guys. I might not seem as enthusiastic as I should be, but I really am. So thank you.
Look, I spent a week like last week doing nothing but coming home from work, eating edibles and watching Star Trek Voyager. Like I'm like, fuck everything. I can't do it right now. Edibles, TV, and
Yeah.
some days so you just gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Yep.
Everybody's got their levels. Like I know,
And every time we do something like this and it's successful like this too, it is re-energizing as well. It does help, kind of make me anyway, and I'm sure you feel the same. Makes us more motivated again. And I think the same goes for Ukrainians as well. And when I'm over there, a lot of that it's a morale boost for them. It could, and I'm not saying because it's me, it could be, anybody like showing that they're helping and that they're still paying attention and everything. And that's important. Because, as much as this war is being fought with machines, there's still people behind them and people being affected by this. And so, yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Paige. Well, I'm not going to keep you any longer. I know you got things to do. Thanks for being here again. Appreciate the hell out of it. We'll have to do this again soon, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for everybody also who donated to the fundraiser. I'll let you go.
Yes, and thank you, Cars for Ukraine and Blonde Bombsheller for fundraising, and then Cars for Ukraine for getting a vehicle. They just completed the fundraiser for a vehicle for the 108th, one of my units with the 108th. So that's actually, just to make it a little bit more personal here, I'll show you this patch that I was showing you is one of the guys in that group. So this guy personally will be benefiting from that vehicle. So thank you very much. I love you all. Glory to Ukraine. Все буде Україна. Смерть ворогам. Bye.
All right, Paige. All right, guys. Well, that was awesome. Nikki won. Guys, we made some super progress. Super progress on the night stream. I personally, I have to get some video games in. I'm gonna play some video games here in a bit. I'm gonna throw out my video game channel. Guys, throw me a sub or two. If you haven't already joined my video game channel, it's right here. I play survival zombie apocalypse shit where you gotta like catch cholera and find medicine, and it's PvP also with other people, and it's super actually immersive. I'll be over there later tonight in a little bit. Thank you for everybody who donated tonight, you guys. You were great. Mitch with a huge $300 donation. Shout out to everybody else who donated as well. That was huge. We were at around roughly $1,600 going into stream, and we knocked out $600 of that tonight. That's a huge chunk. That's a huge win. That's going to get us where we need to go. It's heading the right direction. First and foremost, we got to keep supporting Ukraine. These soldiers need help. We're here to help. We're all emotionally invested into this. We're not going to stop. Shout out to all the new subscribers too, new to the channel. I have quite a few after No Kings. My channel viewership has gone up crazy. The last stream I did was up it was like almost 9,000 viewers on my last news and politics stream. So shout out to all the new viewers as well. Join the Discord if you haven't. Join the gaming channel. And I think that's all I really got for you. We're going to keep these updates going with Paige. We're going to keep pushing this fundraiser. We got to nail it out. It's not over yet. Tonight was special. It was a raffle stream. I kind of threw it on you guys. And I'm going to do more of that. So you're going to have to stay tuned to see what I might be cooking up later to encourage everybody to help donate to these brave men who are fighting for their country and their freedom. First time here, could you tell me what the values are of your channel? Well, first and foremost, helping the men that are fighting for their freedom in their country from a bully country 10 times their size. So we support Ukraine here. I also do independent journalism. So bringing the truth behind every situation, good or bad, against my beliefs or not. Some things I find out end up being shit, and I'll air it. Like No Kings coverage, I've gone down there. I'll do independent journalism there. It was right next to Eric Swalwell for one of it. Like, oh, we know this guy, he's hella cool. Turns out he's not hella cool. So we'll air that. We're gonna air the truth, try to get to the truth as much as possible, and definitely exposing the amount of Russian misinformation and foreign information that is in my country and other countries. That's another huge aspect of this channel. So keeping it real, keeping it centralized as best as possible, and that's it. That's what I got for you guys, man. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all the new subs. Thanks for the old subs. Thanks for supporting Ukraine. Thank you to the mobs. Thank you, BB. Thanks for everybody who tuned in. And I will see you all on the next one. Let me hit you with a quick little outro. And peace out, guys.
They wave their flags like they own the sky, shouting loud but they don't know why. Books untouched, their minds run dry. Truth's a stranger, they pass right by. Oh, false flags flying high, empty hearts where the truth won't lie. They scream of love for the land they claim, but their wicked deeds bring only shame. They chant the words they barely know, hollow pride in a shallow show, pointing fingers where the winds don't blow, building walls where the rivers flow. Oh, false flags flying high, empty hearts where the truth won't lie. They scream of love for the land they claim, but their wicked deeds bring only shame. But their wicked deeds bring only shame. But their wicked deeds bring only shame. A patriot's heart should beat with grace, not with fists or a hate-filled face. If love's the seed, then let it grow, not in shadows, but where light will show. Oh, false flags flying high, empty hearts where the truth won't lie. They scream of love for the land they claim, but their wicked deeds bring only shame. Oh, false flags flying high, empty hearts where the truth won't lie. They scream of love for the land they claim, but their wicked deeds bring only shame. But their wicked deeds bring only shame. But their wicked deeds bring only